Hello everyone and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin and we are on part 24 of Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. Last time we took on Entropy and we finished that final stage, the Crash landed, which was, we got it all done. Took on the boss. Took a significant hit in our lives, but nothing to worry about. Hey, Pelpa Pig, how are you? I think we'll just get right into, from here on out, I'm gonna save the, flashback tapes for last, because I don't want to get jammed up on them. I know the difficulty spike's starting to ramp up. So, I'm just gonna get right into the normal level, which is Food Run, our next one. Pelpa says he's good, nice. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, good idea.
Whoa! You said it, Crash.
We can meet with the others after we've explored. Now, which way are the food trucks?
Aku Aku needs that churro. We got too much to talk about. Way too much to talk about. I know. And I wanted to, but I was also like... We went through a heat wave, and I've also been busy playing stuff, so... I was like... And the timing was just not right. But I actually did something which might actually help me get to stream better in the future, which is... I bought myself a phone charger for work. So... That actually helps me. It helps keep my battery good by the time I get home, because every time I would come home, my battery was just dead, and I just like to use my phone when I'm looking at the chat rather than like a laptop or anything. I don't know why. It just feels nice to. But now I have one, and it's working really nice, and I have it at my desk, and so there's that. So now when I come home, the excuse will never be that my phone needs charging. So yeah, last episode we talked about the Sony state of play, so we don't have to cover any of that right now. I know we want to get to the exciting part, but let's just back it up a sec, and then we will get to that. And I think one of the things I want to at least go over is Summer Games Fest, which came first. And this is honestly a very brief thing to talk about, because honestly, it didn't speak to me at all. It's the same... I never really find Summer Games Fest to be that exciting anymore for me. And mostly it's because the stuff that I really am drawn to is either at the PlayStation quote-unquote showcase, which is usually a state of play around this time, and now that Xbox's showcase, now that most Xbox games go straight to all platforms, although that might be changing soon. I find the Xbox showcase, it lends some more stuff to my liking. Whereas Summer Games Fest, it's usually here's another Resident Evil, here's another Silent Hill, or whatever it is, and it's just like, that's cool for everyone else, for who's fans of that stuff, but for me, I'm just like, eh. He says, however, Final Fantasy VII Revelation was freaking awesome, the last part of the remake trilogy. That, again, I'm not familiar with those games, but yes, that is huge. And, hats off to Square Enix when it comes to that, because I feel like every time, a new Resident Evil... I remember I made a comment on Twitter once, where it's every single showcase of anything, there always seems to be, this new announcement about a Resident Evil or something. To the point where, from an outsider looking in, it's it's a little old. And then people got mad. They're like, what are you talking about? We want... But it's it's all the time now. It's become the Call of Duty but with good quality for Resident Evil fans, where it's just you always have something. Same with Sonic. There always seems to be something with Sonic all the time now, which is good. Good for those fans. But I have to say, Final Fantasy, it's not as frequent, and I feel like they're offering stuff that fans really want, or that fans have really been waiting for. You know what I mean? It's not just like from an outsider looking in, it's not as exhausting. So when there is an announcement for Final Fantasy, I'm just like, okay, it's a big one. I will be playing that. I think at one point I might have to pick up like Final Fantasy VII for PS1. See what all the hullabaloo is all about. But yeah, Summer Games Fest. I think the one interesting thing was that at Summer Games Fest where they showed like Crazy Taxi. They're making a remake for that. I never played Crazy Taxi, but obviously I have a lot of Simpsons Road Rage lineage, and obviously that's a game that's spun off from Crazy Taxi. Did Crazy Taxi... was that Summer Games Fest? I think, right? So that seemed kind of interesting for people. So you're gonna play it at some point. The Final Fantasy VII, yeah. My friend always is telling me that I need to be playing Final Fantasy, like... And then me, I've always just been like, oh, well, do I have to start from the beginning? I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'm sure I would appreciate it more if I understood, like, the earlier games. Oh man, I was gonna slide jump and they just yanked the floor from under me. But yeah, Summer Games Fest, other than that, probably worked for some people, but never speaks to me. Now the Xbox Showcase, that's a different story. I mean, first things first with Xbox Showcase, and mention anything I might be forgetting, obviously, other than the big, obvious one, but, one of the first big ones that it's a much anticipated game for me, is Halo Campaign Evolved, coming out July 28th of this year. That's a big game for me. You said Xbox Game Showcase was on something else. Honestly, Xbox Game Showcase, that was probably the best showcase they ever had. That I can remember. It was just like, they never let up. It was just like banger after banger after banger. Even though, let's start with this. It opens with Gears of War E-Day. Having played Gears of War Reloaded last summer, I understand the characters on a base level at least, and the world at least on a base level. So seeing E-Day was like in those modern graphics, but also retaining that same charm that the original games had. It looks awesome. It's a console exclusive now that Asha Sharma is kind of leading the charge. I think there's like some controversy where it's like it wasn't going to be exclusive. It was like the last second they made that choice, and that there was even a PS5 trailer that exists with the PS5 logo. I think the PS5 on one of the sites, like the PS5 logo was shown and like leaked by accident. But you know what? I'm glad that Xbox, even though I don't know what the state of their company is gonna be, you know, like it's more between Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. Xbox is the most concerning when it comes to their future, but it is nice to see them hold on to some exclusives and be like, hey, you know what? Not everything's coming to PlayStation. Not everything's going third party. We're gonna try to compete again, in a sense. Now, there's a lot of things that are going third party that they can't really reverse, like Halo Campaign Evolved. That's coming to PlayStation. There's no two ways about that. Will Halo 2 and 3 remake, which honestly is unnecessary. Like, I don't know how you feel about 2 and 3 being remade, but like those games are so perfect on their own that it's kind of like it's strange the idea of remaking those games if you're just going to release the campaigns and no multiplayer suite. But will those games start? Will they take back what their strategy was and make them exclusive, or do you think, or maybe like is Halo kind of just like an old IP at this point where it's just like, you know what? Maybe if there's a new Halo installment, like after Halo Infinite, we'll make those exclusive. But for now, those old games are gonna go third party because we need the money. We'll have to see. You said, yeah, they did not have the right They did not have the right to cook that hard. Right? So I've never really played Halo like that, so I'll be checking out. Yeah. So with Gears of War 80, good for them. Gonna be exclusive. Looks like a great game. Like that's a game that's like I would call like a the grass is greener on the other side type game from a Sony perspective, where it's like, if that game did come to Sony, I would pick that game up because it looks cool. And you know, I do have some history with Gears, in a sense. But yeah, Halo Campaign Evolved, that's the big one for me. Like, I kind of can't believe it's happening. I know the novelty of it is like, oh, it's a Xbox, you know, it's like the Mario of Xbox coming to PlayStation. And really it is. For me, I always loved that game. To the point where, like, I remember I would go over to my neighbor's house, play it, and then like, every weekend I'd be knocking on his door to play it again, to play with him, and play, whether it was online or co-op or whatever. I was obsessed with that unit. Like, it was one of those first games where it's like, wow, the world is so like expansive and intriguing, and a game doing that back then for me. You know, there were lots of games that did that, but that was one of the ones that like rose to the top. That was like, wow, this is like, I'm obsessed with this game. To the point where like, I remember like when I used to, as a kid, play like with like Legos or whatever. I made like little level layouts on the like on my bedroom floor, and then I would make little like Master Chief Lego guys and put like enemies like grunts and elites or whatever. And then I remember like playing like that's how obsessed I was, that I couldn't have a game like that on PlayStation, that I would like try to recapture the spirit of it with actual like toys, like when I was a little kid. So that's like, for it to be coming to PlayStation, it is like a dream game for me to come to PlayStation. But I got slow time. And I know, like, you know, there's a lot to be said about, like, you know, it's just like when the Crash Insane trilogy came out, and it's like we're so fond of the original games, or even with the, you know, the original Spyro games, we're so fond of the little nuances of them, that when the Insane trilogy came out, like, there are a lot of setbacks. As much as the game looks nicer in some regards, the loss of textures, the loss of like the color palette, I could see how Halo fans can look at this game, as beautiful as it is, and be kind of very critical of it in terms of its presentation, or Halo, is it Halo Studios, what they, or is it 343, right? Like what they might have like removed or added that was not necessary to the core like integrity of the original. Who knows? Like, I know they removed in the Silent Cartographer level, they removed like a rock that you're not supposed to be because it's supposed to block the Warthog from going over the rock, but like in the original game, like if you tried really hard you can get over that rock, whereas in the Campaign Evolved they removed that rock entirely because they want the Warthog to be able to go to go in there. That changes the game, because people remember getting over that rock. And like Bungie set it up where it's like it's possible to get over the rock, but it's just going to be annoying. but if you really want to, you can. To like take away that from the player. Forgot. To take that away from the player, what other things are they going to be taken away? It's like, you know, but at the same time, it's like, from my perspective as just a Sony fan, I have the Xbox 360, I have the Master Chief Collection, or at least the anniversary one, and then 2 and 3. So I've played the original games, I know what they are, they will always exist to me. I have them physically. I'm just excited to be playing a modern Halo game, even if it's a remake, on PlayStation. It's so cool to me. Damn it, I have to go back. So a lot of those nuances, even though I'm aware of them too, I can overlook them. Damn it, I need to get back. You said I've never really played Halo. Oh yeah, so the big one for me is Persona. This is cool. So what is this? Is it Persona 4 Remake and then they announced Persona 6? Is that, or is it Persona 5 Remake? I forget. When I saw that, I thought of you. I was like, Pelta's gonna love this. And that was like towards the the last quarter of the show too, where I was like, okay. Like, whenever I see Persona anything, I'm like, I'm always thinking of you, Pelta. I'm like, okay, he's definitely, like, I'm interested what he thinks about that. So does the remake look good? It's Persona 4, so yeah, Persona 4 Remake, and then Persona 6. So from what you saw of Persona 4, like, does it intrigue you? Does it capture your expectations well? Like, does it transcend it, or is there any cause for concerns? I think you seem to really like the remakes that they've been making, right? Okay, that's the way to do that. Said it looks absolutely great. A big step up from the Persona 3 remake. Nice. And that's later this year, that remake, right? Whereas I think Persona 6 is set for next year? Oh, forgot about these guys. Oh man, I forgot, you have to, be aware of, what your limits of going down or up with this is. So Persona 4 is 2027. Oh, okay. And I'm not sure about Persona 6. Right, they didn't give a date, I don't think, for Persona 6. But the fact that it's happening, and it's a brand new game, that's so sick. So they have changed the voice on the characters, so I'll have to get used to that. I think that's something that comes with the territory at this point. From what I understand, Halo Campaign Evolved also has some voice recasting. Not so much with Master Chief and Cortana, but with, I believe with Sergeant Johnson? And maybe some other side characters. But I think that's just kind of what we have to get used to at this point. Just be grateful the originals exist, and if you get the remake, you get the remake. If it's good, it's good, I guess, right? Something's just... Whoa! So yeah, I'm excited for both games. It's so cool to get a remake and then an announcement for the real, a new game all in one shot like that. Okay, we got this one. Just making sure nothing else is... So I didn't expect that, honestly. Yeah, that's definitely a nice surprise. Can I go back? I cannot. Okay, cool. How many boxes are we looking at? 171? And then, at that point, when they showed Persona, I was like, okay, alright. I did have in the back of my mind, I was like, it's very possible that I can get what I want right now. It's very, very possible. Because they haven't shown Call of Duty yet, which means Activision hasn't done their like, you know, usually they like to do all their IP like in one shot if they have something to show at a showcase. So I'm like, okay, Activision hasn't gone yet. And then we got that Activision Presents. And as soon as that colorful backdrop happened and we got those purple letters in a realm beyond or whatever, I knew what was happening. And then when the camera pans down and you see these like quote-unquote unfamiliar creatures, which to anyone is unfamiliar, but for me I was like, that is fodder. That is food for Sparks. That will turn to butterflies, and we will eat that. Or he will eat that. And I knew it. And oh my god! Dude! What an incredible trailer. It captures, like, exactly what I wanted out of it, where it's like, it captures that charm and tone, but this is an older Spyro, a slightly older Spyro, maybe in his teen years, maybe? Which is so cool, by the way. Like, such a cool decision to kind of, just like with Crash 4, what Crash 4 does to the original trilogy is, like, it seems like it's a promise to be like, we're not going to give you the nice, cozy game that you want, but it's going to be in the same spirit that you want, and it's going to be, like, we're going to build off that original trilogy and give you something more. And it's not going to be something that's hard or super difficult like Crash 4, because, you know, a lot of the platforming challenges in Crash Bandicoot, even during the original trilogy, it owed itself to, like, you know what, we can ramp this up a bit. You know, we've seen the mods out there. We've seen what the hardcore Crash fans would want out of a new game. That's not what Spyro is. It's not about the difficulty. Yes, there should be difficult sections. Oh, man. But it should be more about the exploration. It should be more about building on what we... Oh god. You know, the thing is with what's it called? What was my... I'm like losing my train of thought. Hold on. Let's get past this traffic. Hold on. Yeah, the thing with the original trilogy that I always liked was, you know, the first game, you know, it introduced you to gliding, the jumping, the flame breath. And then Spyro 2 gave you new abilities. It gave you the hover, which it was a big game changer. It gave you the ability to swim underwater, so you have more traversability. You know, they can do more with, like, the level variety now. It gave you head bash, which is, like, you know, a nice ground pound. And then throughout the game, you always had the flying levels. They would always tease flying more and more throughout the trilogy, where, you know, in Spyro, the last level, the last normal level, you're able to fly in the game of the name of the game is that you're unlocking new levels of elevation. Elevation. I'm sorry, elevation. And which was so different from the formula you're used to in the game leading up to that ending. And then in Spyro 2, you know, they reinforced the speedways again. You're supercharging the speedways. You're flying. I again, you weren't getting that permanent fly ability, but you were getting super fly power-ups in regular levels. So that was cool. So it's like, okay, we're flying more. And in Spyro 3, again, you're doing the same thing. You're getting more abilities too with sparks in that game. So like in each game, they were always building on the abilities you have and what you can do. And the formula of those games, you know, I think 3 games was perfect. It was a perfect, like, progression, because if you just gave him the fly ability, say, in the 3rd game, or whatever, it would take away from what what those games were. It would kind of break the game. But if you come up with a new game where you can incorporate the fly ability, where he's learned to fly, maybe... Now, here's the thing. Does he know how to fly from the get-go, or is he going to have to learn throughout the game, and then he'll be able to fly, and we'll be able to unlock a sense of verticality as we go? Or, from what it seems, we're going to have the fly ability from the start. But from what that little gameplay snippet was, that he was, like, and from what the interview with Paul Yan, the creative director and studio head, it looks like he was, like, Spyro is using, like, his flame to, like, ignite, like, campfires, and those campfires would give him lift. And it's like, when you have lift and you come back down, are you not able to get lift again unless you do the same thing? Or is it going to be like a progression throughout the game where it's like you're going to have to learn how to fly without that lift at some point? I don't know how it's going to work. It's very intriguing to me. You said, good lord, dude, I couldn't believe my eyes. It takes inspiration from The Legend of Spyro, which I never played those games, but from what I understand, you were flying in those games a lot, right? He said, how the heck did they go from Persona 6 to Spyro? That showcase was cooking on every level, man. Oh man, I was trying to get away. Now the question, my one concern with the game is the flying gonna break that platforming itch that I want out of the game? How is platforming gonna work? How is, like... So I'm not gliding anymore, I'm flying. I guess when you come up against obstacles or enemies, say you're in a tight space or whatever, or like even if there's an enemy that needs to be defeated or you're encouraged to defeat to get like a spirit particle or gems, you don't need your flying to do that. You need to be on the ground basically. Like they would encourage you to be on the ground for that. Damn it. He said, I don't think they will break too badly. I think that I trust Toys for Bob to design the game in a way where, because from what their interview promises, they want to not so much make this a more difficult game, they want to make it a game where you're adding all these features. They want to recapture the spirit of those original games, but kind of like expand in other ways. So you're flying more. I imagine Toys for Bob is going to come up with a level design and motivations for why we're going to be on the ground just as much. I hope. So we'll have to see. But it looks great. I think like a new Spyro game. It's called Spyro: A Realm Beyond. This is awesome. Spring 2027 can't come soon enough. This is so awesome. I'm assuming Stuart Copeland's on board, because he's been very active on his YouTube channel, kind of hinting at little Spyro riffs he's been doing and stuff. Or, you know, replaying the older music. He's such an important identity to those games, so I imagine... I know Toys for Bob would be foolish not to have signed him on. I'm glad that we're getting... I'm glad that we're getting a new boss. A new Evil Rises. You said, I'm still manifesting that they should take this make this a multiverse game where they put Legend Spyro and Skylander Spyro in the game. I don't know. They did like with Crash Bandicoot. They really, ever since Nitro Fuel, they've been leaning into the multiverse stuff. Spyro is more of the fantasy stuff. I get it. I understand what you're saying. I understand the thrill of it. I just don't know why. I don't know if it's necessary. Like, I could see them making Skylanders games. I think they should dive into the lore of Legend of Spyro, because I actually am very intrigued by the lore of Legend of Spyro. I know nothing about it. It seems like it's a darker game. You know, I know there's that character Cinder. That's a character. I would love to see them like do like an alternate reality, sort of like what Crash 4 is. Like, you know how they referenced Wrath of Cortex as like this alternate Crash 4 in this game, in Crash 4 It's About Time. And I would like, it would be cool, interesting if the Legend of Spyro games are kind of like reintroduced as kind of like the spiritual successor that was probably most intriguing about later Spyro games to me. I've never played those games. I know that they can be... There's mixed reviews on them, mixed opinions by fans. Some love it, some, you know, maybe not so much. I think it's cool to... like, ever since Spyro 1, I always said it. There's, like, that moment in one of the Peacekeepers levels. In one of the Peacekeeper levels, I think it's Dry Canyon. Where... you rescue one of the dragons, and the dragon says, like, you know, ever since you were a small puff of smoke, I always knew you were the one, or whatever. That, even though that was a little dialogue snippet, it felt like, and even though it probably wasn't taking itself too seriously, it always intrigued me that, like, there was this lore for Spyro, that he can be something greater, or that there's something more to him, or that there's something more to the world that he traverses. Oh man. So, Legend of Spyro stuff, I would like to see them kind of like maybe tamper with it a bit. Or, you know, not wrong word, tamper. I mean, like, kind of like play around with it. So Elijah Wood is Spyro in the game. Yeah, I do know that. I remember seeing like cutscenes of that. That's very interesting. A lot of people are convinced that Mark Hamill is the voice of the new villain in this game. Because he has that kind of like Joker laugh that he has, and honestly, kind of a similar voice to is it Pyro in Crash Wrath of Cortex? Damn it. Which would be interesting. You get a big name like Mark Hamill as a villain. Now, I hope we see characters like Hunter, maybe Allura. Bring some of the lore from the original games, too. I think Hunter is an obviously important character that needs to show up. He previously voiced a villain in The Legend of Spyro Malefor. That's right, so that's what the big... People are... So that's what I'm saying, like, if it is, like, the character of Malefor, I'm so ready for that. I think that would be so cool as someone who never played the Legend. I always like when you are unfamiliar with the source of something, but you're familiar with the lore of it just by hearing about it. Like, I don't know if I would ever like the Legend of Spyro games. I don't know, but that sounds so cool that could be a possible thing. That they could be using a villain that a completely other different part of the Spyro fan base knows about. But me being such a big Insomniac Spyro fan, I know nothing about this character, but I just love the idea that there's an alternate kind of lore going on that I could get introduced to, and that other people will have a different experience with because they are more familiar with the character. And then it's intriguing. It might make me want to play those games, you know, just to see what it's all about. I mean, I should have got that checkpoint after. Alright, I got that checkpoint. Did I get the TNTs? I did, okay. Yeah, no, Mark Hamill voiced the Malifaux character. Very interesting. Dope. I'm very excited. When they reveal Spyro and he's running, you see his legs, and it says a legendary hero, and then the camera pans up to show him. Such a cool moment. I've been watching so many React videos of like people who are authentically excited for this. There was one reaction from a guy who's a very... are you aware of the Spyro speedrunner, Deo Man? He's kind of like this older gentleman who, like, he doesn't wear his shirt whenever he streams, but he's a big speedrunner in the community. So yeah, I was watching some reactions as well. He put up a kind of like a 10-minute video where he's not... Whereas everyone else is very excited and hyped and everything, he's very he brings a lot of constructive criticism to it that I found very interesting and honestly a little refreshing. Because you can tell he is passionate, he loves the series, but he seemed critical of it. At least what I guess maybe the art style. He loves, like, he's such a fan of, like, the liminal space and the original PS1 version, the textures. Like, he's a very hardcore, like, he's not someone, like, that Toys for Bob would give, a gift to, like, Canadian Guy A. Guys like Canadian Guy A are great for promotion, and I do believe that Canadian Guy A is a authentic fan of the series, but a lot of that comes with him having to maintain a good relationship with Toys for Bob, and to be a good influencer for them and to promote their stuff or whatever. It's refreshing to hear from fans who are disconnected from that and who might bring some criticism that it's like, yeah, you know, like my concerns with, like, you know, how the platforming might be affected with the flying now. That stuff I'm just very interested in, and I'm very I have complete faith in Toys for Bob to nail what they're gonna do, but it is concerning a little. Damn it! I'm talking so much, like. But yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be awesome. It's great to know now that we can expect Spyro or Crash at the Xbox showcases. Pretty much, this is what it is. You're not going to see it at, like, Summer Games Fest. Maybe you'll see it at, like, a Game Awards, if, like, you know, whenever, like, Xbox or PlayStation, they'll like, throw those award shows a bone and give a little treat for them or whatever. But for the most part, whenever there's going to be an Xbox showcase in the future, I'm going to be all ears. All eyes and ears. Because we pretty much know how, you know, our theories have been proven now that Toys for Bob went independent, but they struck up a deal with Microsoft to work on their IP as an independent studio, and Activision will be publishing the game, but Activision has no say. They will not put them on the Call of Duty support. They like this is awesome. This is such great news for both Crash and Spyro. And I'm excited going forward. I'm excited for the future of these two IPs. No question. I feel like I haven't hit a bonus yet. Did I pass the bonus? No, I think technically I can just go like this. Whoop. Not that. There's the flashback too. Damn it! I wanted to run. Alright, I should not like rely on the wall running. I should just do the. It's a heck yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I thought the showcase was great, even for stuff I'm not a fan of. You know, seeing a new Hellblade. I hope they can rectify what was kind of a disappointment with Hellblade 2 for a lot of fans, like that Sensua game. That's cool. So also, did you get the hidden gem? I did not. I'm kind of just like talking too much more than actually really paying attention to what this was. That showcase was a movie. But yeah. Oh, there's the bonus. It's down there. I guess we're going down. Cool. So there should be a bonus coming. Yep, here we are. Let me have a drink for my water. But yeah, what else is there to say? Okay. Other than for the oh, I forgot that I'm not using my. I guess what I should get into is what I'm playing. Well, the Nintendo Direct was big. So there's the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time remake, which a lot of people are excited for. Oh, I have to go back to the TNTs, okay. Nintendo Direct, obviously, again, it's like, it doesn't even matter if it speaks to me or not, because I just don't have a Nintendo Switch or Switch 2. But I'm glad that that it seemed like it was just as exciting. Ocarina of Time remake and the long-awaited Kingdom Hearts 4. Right. Never played the Kingdom Hearts games. Again, Disney and what is it, like Final Fantasy characters in the same universe? It's kind of very bizarre. But I'm sure they make it work. I know it's not fun, it's like some other character. But, and I think they showed some Pokemon stuff, too. So I waited 4 damn years for this Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Is that when Kingdom Hearts 3 was? Or did they announce it, that it was going to be a thing, and then they never had a trailer for it? think I screwed up there. Damn it. I had to go back to that metal crate after that. That's awesome though. So they announced the teaser, but haven't heard until this year. Okay. And yeah, excited for Ocarina of Time remake. Now, were you playing Ocarina of Time recently, or was that a different one that you were playing? I forget. It was like Link's Awakening. What's the play here? Oh. Oh, I'm supposed to... okay. I know what to do. Yeah, I beat Link's Awakening, and now you're on Ocarina of Time. Cool! It's cool playing the games like that and then getting an announcement like that. The Spyro announcement has made me want to... Now, I played one, last year, I think, or... Whenever it was when I made that article for you know, the analysis on Spyro the Dragon, the original game's like progression, how it works and everything. Now that the new game is coming, I kind of want to get into like the original Spyro 2 again, which I haven't played in a long time, because the last time I played Spyro really in full, like the trilogy, was the Reignited trilogy for this channel. I want to play 2 again and kind of like really dive deep into the progression system of it. How it works. Like, I want to kind of like go through the level and not collect gems and see where my roadblocks are, you know, how far I can get having like a certain like rule set of like maybe one or two, because it's weird. It's such a different type. The formula is so much different than the original game, where it's like you have to play all the levels to get the talismans. You have to get orbs at a certain point. Gems are important, but it's just like I want to play in a way where I'm getting the minimal amount of gems, but I'm getting through somehow. Or because I want to capture the same kind of like write-up that I did with the first game, but do it for 2, but I have to do it in a completely different way because the game just works in a totally different way than the original. But I'm excited to go back to it at some point if I find the time. Oh, I was supposed to, I'm supposed to slow down time again. Okay. So it's a good game. Ocarina of Time. Cool. Yeah, I think technically I have it on my Retro Snap, but it's like, do I want to experience Legend of Zelda on the Retro Snap? I don't know. There we go. As for what I've been playing as of recently, I've had some interesting things happen as of recent. So 007 First Light, I don't know, you weren't here for like the first half of last episode, but I did buy that game as of last episode, and I was playing it. I mentioned like my brief thoughts on it. As of now, I have beaten the main game of 007 First Light. And I have to say, as a fan of, you know, going back to GoldenEye, which I never owned, it was N64's GoldenEye, but I played a lot of that back in the day. But I really, my lineage of owning and really being very familiar with the games was 2001's 007 Agent Under Fire, and then 2002's 007 Nightfire, and then 2003's 007 Everything or Nothing. And that was like the Pierce Brosnan era of... Oh, there's nitros. Interesting. That was the Pierce Brosnan era of James Bond games. And I also played GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which wasn't that great of a game. That was 2004. I always love these games. So playing this game, 007 First Light, it's a totally different game. It's similar to Everything or Nothing in that it's third person, but it plays in such a different way. It's from IO Interactive, which are, you know, it's the same studio that did the Hitman series. It takes what they know from Hitman and applies it to James Bond, and then it's also kind of like a mix of Uncharted. And it's like, if you're... And this is a prequel game, so like you're playing as James Bond coming up in training as, you know, working for MI6 and becoming a secret agent. And it's really well done. The story is so good. He said, oh, 007. Yes, so... Yes, this game really surprised me. In a lot of ways. The gunplay is so much fun. The combat is incredible. It's probably more in depth than Everything or Nothing was, which was really a very great game for its like in-depth hand-to-hand combat and stealth and everything, and gunplay. You say, "Oh, that's great to hear, man. Thank you." Yeah. Well, I have to say, like, the level of depth in this game is so cool, with your stealth, with your hand-to-hand combat. It's basically a brawler in a way. You have like a grapple. Like, you can grapple with enemies, you can throw them in any direction you want, you can throw things at them, you can like, you know, knee them in the face if you want. Like, there's so many little brawl moves that you can do with them, with like in a hand-to-hand combat. The way the stealth works, it's interesting because I've played stealth games where it's like you take someone out from behind, and then... Ooh, what's going on here? Oh, okay, I see. You take someone out from behind, and it's it's like a silent kill. But if you ever, like, you know, started punching someone regular, then you start alerting all, you know, these enemies around you. That's usually how stealth games work. And then once you alert enemies around you, that's it. Like, you kind of, like, blew your stealth. In this game, just like other stealth games where it's like, if you go hide again, then the enemies won't see you, and then you're back in stealth. What's interesting about what I think was really cool about this game is you can stealth around, take out people silently, but then you can get into hand-to-hand combat, and then there's this thing called situation contained. So if there's no other enemies around, but like the two that were like near you saw you and start like getting a brawl with you, as long as you contain the situation and just kind of like, you know, beat them up and do what you have to do, and no one else on the map, like the situation will be contained and no one else on the map will have to know about it. That's what I think is a really cool mechanic. I don't know if that's how the Hitman games work, but I think that's such a cool way to approach stealth in a game like this, where it's like, it's not penalizing you for breaking the crouching and sneaking around and taking the guy from behind. Like, if it happens to be that you get into a brawl with someone, as long as you contain the situation and, you know, keep it down a little as you're doing it, like, it still allows you to like be in stealth. It's very much like Uncharted. If you want a game, if you're looking for an Uncharted fix, get this game. Because it has everything you want. It has the gunplay, it has the really cool action set pieces, which is very well done. You know, there's driving portions of the game. There's a lot of, like, it really did remind me of an Uncharted adventure in a way. Like, that pulp action adventure. And then you have James Bond, who, you know, like Nathan Drake will always say his little, like a little smart alecky quip or whatever. James Bond is in the same way, but he's suave. So, like, he'll say like a funny pun, but it's like in a very James Bond way, which is hilarious, and yet charming, and yet in character. It never feels like Marvel dialogue or anything, where it's like, you know, they'll just say like some cheesy line, you kind of have to roll your eyes at it. Like, it's always very well written, how it's done. Does he say his iconic movie quotes? At a certain point, like, there will be that earned moment where like an iconic movie quote will, or like his like iconic catchphrases will come into it, and it's done so well. Like, it's done in a way that's like very like they earned that like it didn't feel like it was like pandering to the fans or whatever. It felt like, oh, this actually feels like an origin of like why he would start talking like that, or like you know, or why he would say that. It's so good. I have little left to do. I have to. There's like a challenge mode which is separate from the campaign, although it's sort of within the campaign. And it's like basically a challenge mode, so I have to do some things in the challenge mode to get a trophy, and then the last trophies I need to get are just getting the collectibles, which seems to be pretty straightforward, where you can use chapter select, and not only just chapter select, but like a checkpoint select within the chapter to, you know, pinpoint those missing collectibles you're missing. So it's very possible I can platinum this game, you know, within the month. But by the time I hope for, by the time Halo Campaign Evolved comes out. The characters, the story though, it's not just James Bond that's like really well done, it's the characters. Like the side characters, like you'll actually get attached to them, and you'll feel like, you know, an impact from these characters in this game. And after having beat it, I'm just like, wow, what a wild ride this game was. Not just as like a fun game, fun action game, but, you know, it was cathartic. It was like I want to see a sequel to this. Like, I'm hoping. I think it would be stupid if they're not working on a sequel right now, because it's already like sold like 3 million, or maybe even more since then. It's basically doing really good in sales right now. Oh, okay, so now I'm getting through with my... Okay, I see. Damn it. But what a game, yeah. And it's like it's not like a super long game like Uncharted 4 was. It's more probably as long as, say, like Uncharted Lost Legacy, maybe. But, you know, like one of those games like Dead Space or even Pragmata, where it's just a nice not a superly, damn it, not a superly long game, but like a nice, just like, you know, you get your bang for your buck with this game. It's definitely like a, for me, I think I was able to beat it in like 20 hours, maybe? Maybe, but even more so now that I am going for collectibles. It's probably a game that will take me... It'll probably take you faster if you did it, but... because I like to, like, meander around when I play games. But, it's very well done. Like, I'm so glad that I picked it up. Like, after Pragmata, it's another, slam dunk. Damn it, I didn't mean to press that. I think I'm chasing that, So yeah, I beat games fast. Now, did I do it? Let's see. I got the gem, okay. Now, I missed the hidden gem, I know. But it is what it is. Now, can I get through 3 max? That's another thing to think about. Let's try going back in. Well, let's continue. I always like to continue. I never like to press retry, but I will retry. Let's try that again. Basically, I have to get through without dying. Let's get that flashback tape. I don't know where the hidden gem is. I kind of forget. If I miss it, it's okay. I'll go back to it at some point. I'm not worrying about boxes, right? So... So other than that... Like I said, I was playing a little bit Diablo 4. I really haven't played it much since the last episode, but I did play more of it. Like, I think I'm at level 20-something right now. I really haven't been playing much of it because I got distracted with First Light. Haven't really had a chance to play with friends with it. Damn it. Let's retry that. But I did pick up a new game, which is something I was not expecting I would do. But I vowed Hidden Gem. Okay, so the Hidden Gem is, like, nearby, I think, right? Oh, the Hidden Gem is, like, on the... I remember it. Okay. Is it? No, it's not there. Okay. I'm just making sure it's not, like, underneath that, but I don't think it is. I think it's at the traffic jam area. Which... Again, is if I'm going for 3 max, it might not be wise to... I might not be able to get it. It might take me a few tries to, like, get it right. I see it. It's right there. Yeah, I see it. So I'm basically gonna have to... See, what I don't like is if these fall. These fall, right? Yeah. Alright, let's try. But I wanna get on my first try so that I can at least, like, have a shot at getting the 3 max. What was I saying? So, I'm from New York, and as a sports fan, the Mets haven't won since '86. The Yankees haven't won since, like, 2009. The Jets haven't won since '69. The Rangers haven't won since '94. It's very rare. Like, a New York team winning a championship is very rare. Now, the Knicks... were in the NBA championships, and they won. So I always vowed, if a New York team gets in and they win, Especially since I'm not that much of a basketball guy, but after watching this championship, what a win. So, oh right, the whole basketball thing. Yeah, it's quite hectic out there here. Yes, New York is like... It's not in a good state. The rioting that happens is not good. It's embarrassing. Okay, that works. Okay, we got that gem, right? I can't tell if I did. I did. But, it's been hectic. Absolutely. Like, the celebrating kind of, like... I don't understand people's impulse to, like, destroy their city when their team wins. I don't get that. I feel like it's not even Knicks fans that are doing it. It's just, like, opportunists that just, like... have this pent-up aggression, and they'll jump on an excuse to just wreck stuff and cause anarchy if they need to. I don't know what it's about. But the Knicks have not won a championship since 1973. Like, my dad was 13 years old when they won a championship. And they weren't in a championship since 1999. So in my lifetime, I've never seen them win a championship. I had to buy NBA 2K26. I think it actually it got delivered, which I haven't opened yet or looked at yet. But I feel like it's important. Who knows? Is it gonna take another 53 years before another championship? I might as well buy the NBA game. Now, if it was hockey, I know like NHL 24 I bought in 2024 because the Rangers made it to the Stanley Cup. Or we're in the playoffs or something. I'm just a big hockey fan. I'm a big baseball, hockey, and football fan. So, or really more baseball and hockey. So if they make it to a championship, it's like a judgment call. I'll buy it. But with basketball, I'm not that much of a basketball guy, but I do appreciate the sport. But because I'm not that big on it, it's like, yes, they have to definitely win if I'm gonna buy an NBA game. And they did, so I ended up buying it. I don't like that one. Let's go back. You said, I've seen so much destruction. Yeah, it's bizarre. A lot of fighting between, like, the Spurs and the Knicks fans, and even Knicks fans on Knicks fans. It's weird. Quote-unquote Knicks fans, by the way, because if you're a real Knicks fan, and you've been waiting 53 years for your team to make into the finals... I don't think you want to watch it from inside a jail cell. So you're really not out there rioting and being crazy like that. You're probably like doing everything you can to ensure that you can watch the next game or whatever. So you say, something like that happened here in the UK. What happened for you? Oh, was it you mean in terms of rioting or in terms of like a team winning? Damn it. There we go. Now we just gotta make it through. We're still at... Oh, I died once? Okay. I guess we'll get through to get the hidden gem. Hope for... that I can do it in 3 lives. This level's fairly short when you're not, like, talking about Spiral the whole time, so... And you're just not worrying about the boxes. Oh, come on. We'll see if I can do this. If anything, I'll just have to get the gem... Pull it. Save it for next time. These levels are getting tougher, so... 1 second. Ooh. You said... a London football club, or in your case, a soccer club, won a big tournament after like 20 years and everyone celebrated. Oh, okay. See, right now we have the World Cup. I don't know... See, like, U.S. soccer, in terms of like an individual U.S. league, isn't really big over here. but the World Cup definitely is, especially since New York is hosting the World Cup. How am I doing this? Okay. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, with how the Mets are this year, they are not the best team. They're pretty stinky. But like pretty much every Met fan is a Knicks fan. Same colors, like we've always kind of like vicariously lived through each other as teams. So very exciting to see that the Knicks won. I just had to get that game. I was like, this is like a historic game. I'm gonna want this game as a collectible. So there's that. So LOL. Ooh, baby. Damn it, that's my third one. I can't... It's basically this part that was jamming me up, so if I don't make it, then I'm gonna have to just get to the end of the level to get that. Damn it, I died. It was too late. You should have typed that like 1 second sooner. It's alright. I'll get the hidden gem. Just try to get through this. See, that's what kept throwing me off, by the way. I know I've already died enough, but I keep thinking that's a wall that's in my way, and it's not. I can actually keep going. Damn it. I like how this level's, like, it presents itself like it's like a reward level. But it's challenging. It's not that challenging, though. I feel like I just need to master it. But it's tougher. Like, I'm not in Dragon Shores right now, you know what I mean? After beating Ripto. Alright, so I know I can do this. First bounce. Boom. I missed that. Damn it. This is definitely the way to do it, though. Damn it! They had to put that nitro there. I knew what they were doing. So I can't wait for you to play the Toxic Tunnels level. I'm dreading it. I find that one more tough than the Cortex Castle level, honestly. Didn't mean to do that, but okay. Damn it! So close. It's gonna be tough to do this one in 3 lives, but I've done it before. Ugh. Damn it. I'm like... I'm just over this level, you know? I'll have to, like, revisit it. Damn it. I was like, does he have a TNT? I hope he doesn't. I will master this level, though, for this. I just gotta get the hang of it. There we go. So at least we got the hidden gem out of the way. I'm trying to think, did we... When did we start? Do you know how far into this we are so far? I think technically... Technically I can give it like one more go. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can do it. But you see how it's like, it's eating my lives up like already? So 1 hour, 15 minutes. Okay, so we can go for like another 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Recycling bin. I guess that the future you want garbage to be AI and robot controlled, so. Nope. Okay, so far so good. This is it's a lot of trial here and error. I like took a beat. I was like, let's think about this for a second. The less wall running, the better. So let's do some regular platforming here. Okay. That was a leap of faith, but I got it. Alright, this part was gonna be a little trouble. Definitely will need that mask. Damn it. We used that. Alright, this time I think I know what to do. Oh! Alright, so there goes the flashback too. I gotta get that mask back. There we go. I think the flashback tape is like right here, right? Well, now I can't get it, so, but still, I can... I think this part's fairly easy. In terms of getting to the end. Alright. We only got one death. Oh, that was close. Nope, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay. Damn it. Oh my god! I'm losing it. That's not good, because this part should be easy, because the last part really trips me out. So no. We still can do it. Alright, this part, just gotta concentrate. Oh my god! I got tripped up because it was like, it allowed me to go still, when it shouldn't have. I still do it. Damn it! I got two... Oh, man. Let's try it again. We can do it. Please. Dude, please. It is what it is. This game... I'm just glad that when I do play Spyro 4 for this channel, I'm not gonna have to deal with this nonsense. It's just gonna be a different type of Spyro game. That's what I want. I think the trial and error is helping, though. I think it actually get me maybe the flashback tape this time. Don't trust these things. Damn it. Do you think you'll beat this game before Spyro comes out? Depends on if I want to play something else too. I think I will beat it, yes, but this game, you have to remember, it's gonna be a never-ending... This game can technically go on forever, because I'm not gonna be playing, like, I'm not going for, like, crazy 100%, I'm going for, like, an any percent completion, but still trying my best. I'm not going for relics, really. Even if I do, it's like, that's gonna go way past. And if it, like... Honestly, I think after, like, I beat the main game that I want, and when I feel satisfied, I might move on to something beyond that, and come back to this game whenever I want to. But I gotta say, I am a little burnt out right now with this level in particular. I'm making, like, simple mistakes now. Yeah, by spring 2027, we'll definitely be done with this game. That's a promise. So, alright, man. Is that an alright man, like sure, whatever you say, or alright man, I'll take your word for it? I want to get past this guy. Okay, let's just run past those guys. There we go. You got this. That's what I like to hear. At least we're building our lives back. I just hate wall running. I'm not a fan of it. I hope Spyro doesn't have it. I don't need to be supercharging on the walls, you know? Okay. Oh, come on, man. We're not getting that flashback tape yet. Like, at this point, I gotta go for the 3. I would love to restart and go for the flashback tape, but I really should try to get as far as I can. It's this part that really I don't like. There we go, I guess. That works. I'm starting to get better at that. Which is a shame because the flashback tape is right here. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, let's think about it. Alright, we did it. We're actually getting through. Just gotta get to the end. Come on, man. Like, I'm jumping at it. What do you want from me? I really hope Crash 5 there's no wall running. I am going, like, I don't like it. I don't know why every game needs to do it. It's really like the real boss for me is... It's just annoying. Alright, we got the maxer at least. Okay, we got all the gems. I will get that flashback tape right now. It's in, like, I can do it. I know I can do it now. Because I know how to get past that TNT part with the Akuna. So that was way too close. Or way too close. I'll take way too close at this point. Alright. Perfect. Alright. You got this. Alright, that part's getting pretty easy. Just gonna make it through here. At least this wall running part isn't that bad. But you never know. At least they're generous with the lives. Alright, this part I know I can do it now. Trusty Aku Aku. Alright, we got this. No, we don't have it! Why do I keep getting flustered by that guy up top. I think if I jump too far, I'm jumping too high and I'm gonna hit him. And then by the time I land, I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. I'll get it. I'm gonna get it right now. I'm getting through like up until that part, I have it. And then once I get to that part, I just have to be like, yo, just remember what you got to do. Ugh. Taking out the trash. Oh. Okay. Got this. I'm always afraid those boxes are gonna, like, fly in the way of my wall running, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Okay. Alright. Short jump. There we go. We're golden. I got it. As long as I got it, then I got it. Now let's bring it home. Let's go, now finish this level. Not even gonna comment on that one. I don't like that one. Thank God I beat everything that I need to do, though. Just a matter of getting through. There we go. Alright, let's end it. Enough of the wall running, let's just get through. Oh my god. Ugh. After this, I'm gonna play some more First Light. Try to get that platinum out of the way. Alright, we're good. We're golden. We got the flashback tape. Beautiful. That was one episode of Food Run for everyone. Good thing I didn't do the flashback tapes. Alright, Papa Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. You could subscribe to KevPlays9490 on YouTube, and or follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace out. Oop.